So I'll be honest, I've never really been much of a 12-string guitar guy. It's not that I don't think they sound good or that they're a useful tool, it's just that for the way that I play, and especially for playing slide, I never really thought I would have much use for one. That is until this guitar came into my life. This is a 1978 Sigma 12-string dreadnought that was recently gifted to me by an extremely generous family friend named Terry. And since becoming the custodian of this guitar, I've realized that this actually is something that I can see myself using fairly often, and it's actually pretty awesome for slide. So for today's video, we're going to talk about why you should consider getting a 12-string if you're looking to play some acoustic slide guitar. Let's get into it. Before we get into the 12-string talk, really quickly I wanted to tell you guys about my new course, which is called the Slide Guitar Course, Standard Tuning Edition. So even though the topic of today's video is using alternate guitars for playing slide, my course is all about teaching you everything you need to know to play slide in standard tuning on your regular guitar in a wide variety of musical situations. So you don't have to learn any open tunings, relearn the fretboard, or have a separate guitar that's set up just for slide. The course starts with the most basic fundamentals of playing slide and takes you on a path that gradually introduces more and more advanced concepts. So the course is designed for everyone from beginners who have never touched a slide before, all the way up to more advanced players who are looking to fill in gaps in their knowledge and technique. And because I'm actually getting married exactly 1 week from the day this video comes out, to celebrate, I'm putting the course on sale for 40% off until my wedding day, October 2nd, 2024. If you want to learn more, then you can go to the link in the description of this video to check out the Slide Guitar Course Standard Tuning Edition. And don't forget to take advantage of that 40% off sale while it lasts. So first, let me quickly tell you the story of this guitar. My dad has an old high school friend who, like I said, is named Terry, who has been a gigging musician for the majority of his life, mostly playing acoustic gigs. If I'm remembering correctly, this guitar was made in 1978. Terry bought it brand new in 1979, and from then on, this was his main axe for all of his gigs. And as you can imagine, after decades of playing this guitar, Terry had a strong emotional connection to it. Fast forward to 2024, and Terry can't really play much guitar these days. So, still being friends with my dad, knowing that I'm a musician, and having followed my career for the last year or two, Terry decides to so graciously and generously gift me his main guitar. As someone who can get very sentimental about certain guitars, I understand how big of a deal that is. So, Terry, I know you're watching this. Thank you so much for trusting me with your baby. It really does mean a lot to me, and don't worry, your guitar is getting appreciated and taken care of. Everyone knows that 12 strings are amazing for big, powerful strumming. But what do you have to gain as a slide guitarist with a 12 string? Well, first of all, I've found that a 12 string can add back a lot of fullness to your acoustic slide tone compared to a regular 6-string acoustic guitar. While all of the varieties of resonator guitar typically sound nice and full and warm and toneful acoustically with the slide, a standard 6-string flat top acoustic often sounds pretty thin and tinny with the slide, which sometimes that's exactly what you want if you're going for a more authentic, old-timey blues sound. But for certain applications, it can just be too thin and stringy sounding, especially on the high strings. With a 12-string, however, the extra projection and volume and harmonics that you get from those doubled up strings seems to kind of cancel out those sort of unpleasant, stringy kind of sounds that you can get from a 6-string flat top with the slide. Even if you just single out the two highest strings, it doesn't sound tinny at all, and it actually has this cool kind of like chorusing effect almost. By the way, I have this tuned to open D right now, so that's D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Same intervals as open E tuning, just a whole step lower. And I've found that open tunings, and especially low tunings like this, sound absolutely massive on a 12 string. The The fullness of this thing could also be great if you're a solo acoustic player who plays slide, who wants to get a little bit bigger and more complete of a sound out of their one guitar. Another cool feature of playing slide on a 12 string is being able to access doubled octave sounds by singling out individual string courses, particularly the lower 4 courses. If you play horizontal scale runs with the slide on any of these individual courses, then you can get this really cool, almost 2 singers singing in unison an octave apart type of sound like this. And if you let some strings continue to ring open while doing this, particularly by tilting the slide forward so it's out of the way of the higher strings, then you can get some really beautiful sounds. I feel like I could sit around for hours just messing with that droning kind of sound. Also, while the 12 string is typically not associated with traditional blues slide, if you check out blind Willie McTell, who actually wrote the song Statesboro Blues, as famously covered by the Allman Brothers, he primarily played a 12 string, and there are certain songs where he plays slide on it. A tune you should definitely check out to hear this is I Got the Cross, the River Jordan. He plays some awesome 12-string slide stuff on that song. The last benefit of playing slide on a 12-string that we'll talk about today is simply inspiration. Playing slide on a 12-string is a very different experience from playing slide on a normal 6-string guitar. The fact that you have groupings of 2 strings together at first just feels really wrong for playing slide, especially if you fingerpick. It's a bit of a challenge to fingerpick with any sort of accuracy on a 12-string. And even after some time practicing it, it's still really easy to accidentally kind of blur strings together while you're trying to play slide with it. But with that difficulty comes the chance to play a little differently than you normally would on a 6-string guitar playing slide. That, combined with the full and rich and unique sound of a 12-string, can make you play lines that you never would have played on a normal 6-string, and can even pull out entire songs, or at least parts of songs, that you never would have come up with without playing this guitar. So if you're ever in a rut or have writer's block or are just looking for a different sound, then a 12-string might be a great option for you to try out to kind of bring that inspiration back. So overall, I honestly hadn't really considered 12 strings all that much before getting to know this guitar. But this thing has taught me that 12 strings are definitely a viable option for slide and can just be a great source of inspiration in general. And the story and meaning behind this particular guitar makes it even more special. So that does it for today's video. One more time, thank you so much, Terry, for this incredible gift. Everyone, don't forget that my standard tuning slide course is 40% off for 1 week only. Link to check it out is in the description of this video down below. If you could please like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell notification icon to get notified whenever I post new videos, that will help out my channel a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.